presenting Osman, and I'm 22 years old, so nice people. Make some noise, nice! Yeah. So we're moving beyond the cocaine generation, eh? Just saying. So I chose the word craft to be the underlying word for today's presentation because I'm presenting on marketing strategies, digital media, and social media. So I thought marketing was really a bit of commerce and a bit of design put together. And because I'm 22 and you paid $12, so don't expect any Richard Branson material, okay? Let's just get that clear first. Okay, so a bit about myself before you tune out because I'm 22 years old. I used to work for a radio station called 91.3. Any listeners here? Okay, I love you. Alright, so a bit about my father before we continue on with marketing. So he was a racer, he was a motocross racer. He was a champion in the Asian circuit from 1979 and 4 years after that. So he had a successful business. But shortly after his mom passed away a couple of years ago, my grandmother passed away, he kind of like lost his ability to walk. Just overnight, it just happened, and we went to doctors and we couldn't pinpoint what was happening. So slowly, he actually started carving eggs, ostrich eggs that we import from Malaysia. And because he honed his craft, he actually regained his ability to walk. That's fascinating. I'm gonna get a ooh. Excellent. So my point is, if you have to get your brains working by getting your hands dirty, you gotta get down with the crowd, y'all. So if you are a marketing person and you want to launch a social media campaign, but you don't use social media, that ain't going to work. You gotta get down, you gotta get dirty. You know? So because I'm 22, I'm gonna tell you what 20-year-olds think. We Google the crap out of your brand. Before we do anything else, Wikipedia, Google is God. If you're not on the first page of Google, you don't exist. So that's a very important point to note when you're, doing your marketing stuff. Anybody in marketing here? Excellent. So we like pretty things, but we're very fickle. We're the fickle of the ficklestest. Okay. So you gotta minimize on the clickability in your website. You want less flash. In fact, no flash would be best. You want it load faster. If it's too slow, we're out. And we like to read, but we only read 140 characters, not words. That's why Twitter is booming. Business is booming. We don't attention span of a goldfish. So you want to keep it concise. Okay? We got it clear, buddy? No, you're not drunk enough. Okay. So here's a couple of social media platforms. Cancel Friendster. It sucks. No hacking. Okay, so the most common one, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I call it the trinity of hashtags. Right? You gotta get your brand to trend. Alright, and here's social media explained with coffee. Okay, let's just think about this for a minute, right? You Facebook, I like coffee. You tweet, I am drinking, hashtag coffee. And you take a photo of a vintage photo of coffee and put it on Instagram. Okay, that's how you get your brand to trend. So now a lot of people are asking, if I am on social media, do I have to have a corporate website? Do it. Because you want your brand to come across from an official voice. You want to give a voice to your brand. If you're a restaurant, you don't just want to depend on hungry go where. Because sometimes, it goes down on hungry go where. Okay? So how do you balance design and commerce? That is the most essential part. If you don't have a good design, then your business is not going to take off. You're going to have a vision, everything has to be engineered. Your key message, your brand image has to coincide with your brand look. You got to look pretty, y'all. We buy pretty. But pet peeves, websites who link to a social media page, like Facebook page. That is cheap, that is sleazy, and that is just uninspiring, right? Alright, got it clear? And if you're a brand on Facebook, do not spam me with your ads. I don't want to know about your ads, right? So here's the story about Charles, and I can't pronounce his last name, but he is an engineer, and GE actually hired him in way back when to fix a generator. And what he did after a few weeks was to mark an X on that generator and ask the contractor to drill a hole in it. And there you go. So knowing where to mark X is 99 $999, and marking X itself is $1. So GE wanted a breakdown of the cost. The reason why it's so expensive is the knowledge. So therefore, if you do not know how to launch a social media campaign, hire somebody who does. Right, 90s kids, yeah, here's one for you. So this is Lion King. Just take a quick look. Look Simba, everything the light touches is business school. Wow. What about that shadowy place? That's the art school. Never go there, no. Well, business depends on the artist. It depends on the artist and the business concept. So now, creativity, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. In fact, I just worked with a client who was adamant about being on Facebook or creating a website because it's a gym, so it's all like masculine and all. We don't need Facebook. So I convinced him to get on Facebook and his sales has doubled in 3 months. Alright? Alright, so I decided to start off the Craftsman Studios because I wanted to give brands like, I want to spend more time with the brand. I didn't want to work in a big company where it's top down. I want to get down with the brand. Okay, so a lot of times, stories of the beginning and stories of the end, they kind of enrapture people. You're very interested, like Ang Lee, you know? Like, oh yeah, nobody want to buy his scripts, and now he's famous, but nobody knows what happens, and that is your brand story, and that is the most important thing your brand can have, a story. Alright, thank you very much. So, this is my website, please visit it. And I'm going to leave you with a quote, right? So if you... Wait, let me think of the quote. It is by Eckhart Tolle. So, if you can't see, hear, or touch the future, it's safe to say that it does not exist, and the only moment you have is now. Thank you.
Not just a pretty face. Speaking of which, I am taking this Instagram thing into my own hands. Everyone smile, please. Smile to me. Oh my God. Okay.